It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Yeah, let's go. What is going on, my pretty babies? Lee Sanders with you guys for this Saturday Night Live edition of the RCWR Show, dropping this August. What is it now? I think it's August 31st. Yeah, August 31st, 2024. We're talking WWE Bash in Berlin, Fallout. Sound off. Let me know what you guys had thought about this weekend's premium live event, pay-per-view event. Yo, I enjoyed it. You know, I kind of messed myself up a little bit, though, and I got to forgive you guys, or you guys got to forgive me, right? Because your man messed up. So we were supposed to do post-show immediately after Bash in Berlin wrapped up, but I was out on the road a little bit later than I anticipated. And one thing led to another, as by the time I got home, I could have easily slept for 5-6 hours and I would have been good. But I'm telling you, I was relentless and I was determined to figure out my new computer configuration. So those of you that's been checking out the shows off and on for just the past couple of weeks, but really this particular week that we're in right now, I said to you guys okay, I need to figure out what's going on because my computer, which is an Alienware 17, it's on the fritz. And this whole time I've had my MacBook that's honestly been sitting in the man cave collecting dust, only being used for classes. I'm going, this is a disservice. Like, what the hell? So I figured it all out. Got some new accessories in the process. Your man finally got an Apple mouse rather than, because those of you that have a MacBook, you guys know you got to use your fingers and doing all this weird, Spock Vulcan crap and all that. So I'm liking it. I'm telling you guys all this right now. If you're noticing anything weird, let me know just by dropping a comment and maybe I can adjust on the fly. But I don't really think I'm going to need to do any adjustments because I barely use this MacBook and I know it can handle, some of the basics of what I'm doing right now. So yes, that brings us to right now because I was so tired once I was done figuring everything out. So I saw 90% of Bash in Berlin. And then when I was up for the day, I went back, rewatched, fast forward some of the stuff. So we also got some notes from the press conference. So this is a well-rounded Bash in Berlin post show we're dropping. But of course, I do want to hear from you guys. I want to know your thoughts about this premium live event. Hey, and we're just doing loose talk, right? We're not going to go long-winded with the pay-per-view because I know probably by now a lot of people saw it. And those of you that's tuning in, you definitely want to know my thoughts, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to try to do my best because I appreciate you all's time. I value you all's time. But I do want to say, just going with the flow, anybody that did not take the time out to watch the what is it? What are they calling it now? Is it pre-shows or kickoff? anybody that did not watch that earlier today, I would definitely recommend you go out of your way and check it out. Some good stuff that was in there. Particularly, I like the Randy Orton sit down interview that was conducted by Michael Cole. Fantastic work. It just made you have more appreciation for Randy Orton than ever before. If you've been following his career for years upon years now, I just love the way that was handled. It was handled very, very beautifully, very professionally. You got some great depth into that bad boy. And let me put it to you this way: if you went out of your way and you watched that on the pre-show, you came out of that going, well, god damn it, some bitch, you know what? I think Randy Orton just might get this. I think this man just might win this championship. So I loved how all that had played out. They had Miz and Big E for the first hour as they joined Michael Cole. I love that Michael Cole is now doing these pre-shows. It's a breath of fresh air. You don't know exactly where things are going to go because it just seems extremely loose. And it feels as though, I don't know if you guys are getting the same impression. Let me know. But it feels like at least that first hour of the pre show that we've been getting these past couple of months now, it feels as though with Michael Cole Incorporated, the first hour is very carefree. It's so loose. The personalities, the camaraderie, the friendships, it's really shining through, which pales in comparison when you get to the second hour of the pre-show with Jackie Redmond. And let's be honest, Jackie Redmond is that must be my wife texting me. Hang on. Yes, that's my wife texting me. I had to ask my wife, besides you all, I said, hey, can you do me a favor? Just check out the stream. Let me know if everything is on the up and up good. And wifey is saying you are good. No issue. Okay, I love that. Thank you, honey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I was telling her, it's like if there's one person that will always give it to me right down the middle, right between the eyes, it's wifey. And usually when I say to her, hey, can you check out the stream? Can you let me know what's, and she's like, yeah, no problem. It's like, yeah, you're good. All right, good. So this new configuration, I'm loving it. This is the new configuration going forward here. I'm gonna take I'll probably do a video thing of a tutorial and let you guys see how the new setup is going, because I'm very curious how many of you guys are have the same similar setup. I'll tell you one thing that was a headache that was not findable on YouTube, believe it or not. As a quick sidebar, I typed in how to connect a MacBook to a Rodecaster Pro. And anybody that's in the mixers, things of that nature, whether you're podcasting, you're doing it for music, narration, don't you know, nobody has that on YouTube. Nobody, I BS you not, nobody has that on YouTube. There may be okay, how to connect your Rodecaster Pro to a mixer, but there is no how to connect a MacBook to a Rodecaster Pro. And I figured it out. So I don't know. I think I might do a video on that. We'll see. But no, check out the post show, or correction, check out the pre show. It was really good. I appreciated Michael Cole in them during that first hour. But as I was alluding to, the second hour pales in comparison because let's be honest, Jackie Redmond, very attractive. What really attracts me to Jackie Redmond, I don't know about you all, but what really attracts me to Jackie Redmond, her eyes. Her eyes are very, very alluring, very unique eyes. She's kind of friendly, right? She comes off friendly, but it feels more like boom, 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 boom. Whereas when you're watching with Michael Cole and them, it's boom, having some fun here, yeah, boom. With Jackie Redmond, it's more boom, 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 right? So I don't know. Maybe it'll come in due time. Who knows? But only thing I did not I won't say like, but I cringed. Yes, Muhammad says it best. Uh, it very gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous is Jackie Redmond. Yeah, she's definitely. It's the eyes though. The eyes I find most attractive. Like for me, I don't know what most guys look for in their women, but for me, one of the main things I look at is the eyes. If I can just get locked in on the eyes, I'm there. Like my wife, she's got the prettiest eyes. Her eyes are a it's weird. Her eyes can go a light gray route, and then they can also go a slight light blue route. It's interesting. It just flip flops from time to time. But anyway, one thing that I want to push back on in regards to the pre-show, Biggie. I don't know if Biggie was nervous. I don't know if Biggie. I don't know what was going on with my man, but there were times. Normally, I see these pre-shows, and again, don't take my word for it. Listen to the fan reactions. I know some people are like, dude, you're going on and on about the pre-show. That's because the pre-shows have actually gotten better. I can't tell you how many times these past couple of months I've been online and I'm just putting my thoughts out there randomly on social media, and folks are willingly just going out of their way to respond to what I'm saying. And they're going, yeah, these pre-shows have gotten a lot better. They're now becoming must watch. Whereas previously you could skip it and you were good because you weren't missing anything interesting. So, but Biggie normally is on point with these pre-shows. Biggie has been a great highlight of these pre-shows. This go round, however, something seemed a little bit off with Big E, where I felt many times he was ranting, rambling. Whereas Miz, I couldn't help but go, well, you know what? It's a no-brainer because Miz is the veteran. He knows a thing or two about getting out there, doing all forms of media. He can ace these tests any damn day of the week, whether you give him 12 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, or 1 hour of sleep. The man can go out there and crush it, which he did this go round. I think this version of Miz, let me put it to you this way. Remember when Miz had did Monday Night Raw on commentary with Michael Cole some weeks back? And we all collectively were going, "Ugh." This was 20 times better than that. Miz was really within his realm, especially when they showed the highlights of him going to various places to eat and drink in Berlin. It was actually kind of funny and cool and everything. But no, Big E seemed really out of his element this go wrong. Some would maybe say, well, was it lack of preparation? I kind of feel as though if I were to really sum up Big E this go round, overkill. Especially, and we're going to move on to the main card, especially with this part. Big E said something along the lines of when he was describing CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and their strap match coming up. He said something, and I'm not taking him out of context because I immediately responded to this on social media. He compared CM Punk to Jesus Christ and talked about the massacre that came with Jesus Christ. Everybody knows, you know your history, right? You don't have to be religious, but you know your history with Jesus Christ and all that, where he was crucified, all of that. So Big E linked all of that together to CM Punk to try to put over this strap match. And for those that did not watch, and you really need to go out of your way and watch, you can see Miz and he kind of shakes his head a little bit and he has this sour patch face look. It's kind of going, dude, I know you didn't go there. I mean, yeah, we're loose, but goddamn, it's kind of one of those deals. And my face, I've got the sour patch face going, and I immediately said out loud, poor choice of words, dude. Like, no, don't go that route. Like, you don't have to touch that. Really, like you don't have to touch that. That is one of many themes I felt that was going on with Big E. during his time there. And poor Biggie, he had to do the whole 2 hours. Him and Miz, they joined Jackie with they joined Jackie for the second hour there. But other than that, it's great. I cannot stress it enough. If you have the free time, definitely go out of your way. I'll make a deal with you. Go out of your way. Seems like the way the pattern is going right now, you can check out the first hour of the pre-show because that's going to have Michael Cole and it's going to be much more looser. And then just dip out on the second hour unless there's something that you really want to see that they're highlighting during that second hour. Actual card, we go. Let's talk about some of these matches already, man. Bash in Berlin, they had a attendance of 13,149, according to what went down at the Berlin post-show press conference. This was one of their highest grossing PLEs. Apparently, I got everything in the notes. We'll talk about it much later on and everything. By the way, that Germany crowd, shout out to my people in Germany. I love you guys tremendously. Over the years, we have had some reach to fans in Germany that love their wrestling, particularly they love their WWE. And boy, I tell you, that Germany crowd, they came and they represented. I found their energy to be infectious. I found it to be a riptide. I found it to be one of those joints where when I was feeling pretty low, and I got to tell you, having not slept and just kind of feeling like I'm dragging, that Germany crowd really put some energy into me when it really, really counted the most there. So kudos to them. Cody Rhodes defeating Kevin Owens to retain the undisputed WWE Championship, 23 minutes, 16 seconds. So look, I love the story that played out in this match, and really everything kind of carried over from SmackDown, which, by the way, that live SmackDown in Germany, that was pretty good. That was pretty good as well. Love that for what it was worth. First time ever we get a live broadcast of one of the major shows from Raw, SmackDown, from outside the U.S. and Germany, and that crowd was great. Nothing compared to what we got for Bash in Berlin, though. Nothing compared to that. But anyway, I love the story that pretty much began on SmackDown going into this match, where you're a little bit concerned about the status of Cody Rhodes, and it's kind of interesting how everything was emphasized on Cody. Okay, so what's going on with the leg? Is he injured or not? And you're hearing this, and I can just imagine some of the fans out there going, oh man, like the guy just really is kind of getting started here with his championship reign. That's the last thing we need to see is an injury bug. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, man. So you have that side, and then you have the other side that's looking at it going, whatever, man, you're just spinning this. So when it's all said and done, oh, look at the odds that Cody Rhodes had the fight so he could retain his championship. You ain't tricking nobody with that crap. Go ahead. And then you have others that's looking at it going, well, maybe it is Kevin Owens' time. Yeah. Look, I got to be honest with you guys. Even though I didn't offer match predictions, just looking at the entire card in general, I did look at this particular match and say to myself, at least, there's no way that Cody Rhodes is losing this championship, not with all the money that you can continue to make in the future involving the bloodline, especially if eventually you want to maybe elevate Jacob Fatu. Ooh, Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes for the championship. I don't know why they keep pushing. I keep wanting to call him Camacho. You know exactly who I'm talking about, though. I don't know why they want to continue to push that dude, but I'm just not feeling him. I'm talking about Solo Sokoa. That's actually an insult to my man Camacho. Because Camacho's actually he's pretty good. I think this go around, he's actually pretty good. But no, my man Solo Sokoa, I'm not No, no. You know, what was really surprising about that matchup, though, between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, again, great storytelling. I love the fact that when Cody had went up to the top rope and he was trying to do that out of nowhere cutter, his knee just buckled out, and Kevin Owens is looking at that. He smells blood and he can't go in for the kill. If anything, I loved it was great storytelling. It really, really was. Say what you will about predictable, but the way that they told the story was great in my book because Kevin Owens, this long-term friendship that he's had with Cody Rhodes and the Rhodes family, that one connection, that constant variable, which was the American dream, Dusty Rhodes. He's looking at Cody Rhodes, and I love how he came up to him after he saw Cody just kind of wobble with that knee. What the hell? You know, he's like, what the hell? Like, I knew you weren't at 100%. What's that? What's that, huh? And his whole thing is, nah, man, I don't want to beat you for this championship, for this prestigious championship with an asterisk because you're not fully at 100%. And I love seeing Cody push him off and say to him, I'm okay. Let's keep going. Smacking him around a couple of times. Kevin Owens wouldn't even do that trademark power bomb to the apron that we've seen him do so many times. When he does that, it's essentially game over. I mean, he was busting out the stunners and everything, but when it counted the most, he did not seal the deal where there was blood. And Cody Rhodes was able to take advantage of that. My God, how many crossroads did Cody get off in there? It seemed like maybe he pulled off 6, possibly 7. But I love the story, well played out. Great job, great selling by both men, especially that Kevin Owens. I can't believe that it's been 7 years since Kevin Owens last won a World Heavyweight Championship. It when you hear 7 years, you just go, "Wow, that just feels so long ago." What was going on with the WWE product back then when Kevin Owens was the champion? It makes you wanna do your research. That's my whole point. Makes you wanna do your research, find out what the hell was going on way back when. It's surprising that Kevin Owens has not had more championship reigns. When you stop and think about it, you would think by now Kevin Owens would be a 4-time world heavyweight champion. It's interesting. It's just very interesting. Also interesting is the fact that post match, I was expecting. I think many of us out there were looking at what all went down and expected for Cody Rhodes to get the living, you know what, kicked out of him by Kevin Owens, but it did not happen. At least not on this night. At least not on this night. It did not happen. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in live right now, where you're joining me on the YouTube, the Twitter, known as X. X gonna give it to you. Or you're checking it out via YouTube. However you're checking out the show. Appreciate you guys. Do me a huge favor. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel that we're doing this stream on right now and hit the like. Hit the like because it has a great domino effect. It helps put more eyeballs on the content, makes our stuff more discoverable for people. I usually get all the time, didn't know you existed. Can't believe you've been around this long and I'm just now finding you. Like, it really helps out a ton. Really appreciate that. But Cody Rhodes retaining the championship, I never thought for a second that the championship was in jeopardy. Let me ask you this though. Is anybody surprised that Bloodline did not come out there? I mean, that's a really serious question. It's a legit question to ask. Is anybody a bit surprised that Bloodline did not come out there and they did not feast upon the scraps that was in that ring between Rhodes and Owens? I just thought that was a interesting touch right there because I'm looking at this and saying, hey, if there was ever a time for the bloodline, especially since we had Cole in the game constantly saying, hey, Solo Sokoa, rest of the bloodline, they're watching this, and Solo Sokoa, he said, regardless of what happens here in this match, he's got next. So just interesting here. Had some really good moments in this match though. Um, I like the selling point of, is Kevin Owens gonna flip out on a mofo? Are we gonna see vintage Kevin Owens resurface? I love those elements that you had going in there. Um, in retrospect, when I look back on this match, I think that was one of the main issues, the main ingredients that was missing from this match was, okay, yeah, they're very friendly with one another, is Cody and Kevin, but where is that Achilles heel, right? Where is that? Where is that? Okay, somebody like you better be sure, you better be careful here because not for nothing, that tattoo on his arm, it may say live, but a lot of people, first thing they see when they look at that tattoo on Kevin Owens is evil. And I can't help but quote the Metallica song, Am I Evil? I am man. Yes, I am. You right? So, yeah. But I like how they strung it all together at the end, having a very conflicted Kevin Owens. Now, if you're WWE, you've done a really, I think you've planted some really good seeds here for Kevin Owens going forward, which is okay, Kevin, you didn't seal the deal because, nice guy and everything. Now you got to pull a Megadeth. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, no, 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 wait. Yeah. Dave Mustaine did do, or was that a remake? Because the version I'm thinking is a verse from Dave Mustaine Megadeth. But I know Alice Cooper, he had his own version as well. Next match, women's tag titles. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair defeating Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre to regain their women's tag titles. 12 minutes, 2 seconds. Look, let me tell you something in regards to this match. Let me tell you something. I'm keeping it honest with y'all here. I told you guys as early as this Monday's show, this past Monday's show, I said, look, I'm not saying that WWE and the way we're seeing how, particularly my brothers and sisters, my people of color, I'm not saying that there's something weird going on, but goddamn, what is going on with this booking? Because certain stars you're looking at on that roster and you're expecting 10 times better. Jay Cargill, Bianca Belair definitely being those individuals. I never was a fan of them losing the tag titles. I've let that be known since day one. I've never been a fan. Oh, well, this person went through a lot and they persevered, and okay, that's fine and dandy. That's fine and dandy. But we're talking about stuff that happened in their personal life, which did not play out in front of the cameras, unfortunately. That's a big difference between a guy like Randy Orton and, who you want to give me. You want to give me Isla Dawn or you want to give me Alba Fyre? Like with Randy Orton, the stuff that was playing out behind the scenes did bleed over into his work in front of the camera. He struggled. So, yeah, you can tell me, and that's not me being a dick. That's not me being mean. That's just me going, that alone, what is going on in your personal life, that alone should not even put you in a position where, hey, we're going to make you a champion. let's look at the body of work in the ring collectively. Let's look at everything. In my book, Alba Fyre, Isla should have never gotten a whiff of those women tag titles. I get and I respect, most importantly, appreciate what Triple H, Paul Levesque and crew were trying to do with those girls. They were trying to establish a new tag team in the women's division, trying to establish a new thread. But that experiment, I personally feel that experiment just did not resonate with the mainstream audience. Yeah, that's great. Germany, they were popular, or they were popular for this independent promotion over here. But these are small chains, unfortunately. And let's be realistic. If it's not NXT related, 9 times out of 10, those fans are sadly not going to go out of their way to check out whatever was going on in WXW or whatever other promotion you want to bring up. They're most likely not going to go out of their way. They got to be a fanatic to really go out of their way and see what was going on. So that's not me saying the girls suck. Alba Fyre and Isla. That's not me. Make no mistake about it. The girls are talented. They are talented. But this current incarnation, it just never connected. It just never, I felt, got over with the mainstream audience. I said for months before Jade, Cargill, and Bianca lost their tag titles, I said, I love this team. I love the fact that you hit so many demos with these girls as a tag team. You're taking care of the men. You're taking care of the women. You're taking care of those little girls, particularly the little girls of color that is looking at, look at these two strong, powerful looking young black women that look like they came from out of the pages of a goddamn comic book. This is badass. Like, wow, I'm going to tell you something though. I'm keeping it real with you guys. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, all that other stuff. But why does this feel like a political move? I shouldn't have to feel that way. Y'all feel where I'm coming from. For those of you that are not familiar with our American politics, assuming you live outside the USA, considering everything that's going on with this current election season in the United States, right? Not to get too heavy on the political talk, but you guys can connect the dots, right? Right? Kamala Harris. It annoys me to hear people say Kamala, Kamala, whatever. But considering what could potentially happen this November, I can't help but look at what we got here with Jade and Bianca and go, okay, are we kind of pulling a Law and Order here? Are we kind of ripping from the headlines a little bit here, and we're kind of essentially riding the momentum of what's going on over here? I know it's a reach. I know that sounds like really crazy, but history has shown by WWE that when they are trying to plant a couple of seeds or somehow kind of take a page out of whatever is happening in the political climate, like they will do XYZ. So there's a part of me that's looking at this going, is this kind of you all's way of trying to please a certain segment of the WWE fan base, kind of due to what's happening in the political season? I hope not, right? But I can't help but think that, right? It's okay to think something, but you don't 100% totally believe in it. I'm curious, now that I've put that out there, what some of you guys are thinking in regards to that. The match itself, The match itself, I know in regards to I'm gonna say something funny. Is it Isla Dawn? I think it's Isla Dawn. It must be jelly because jam don't shake like that. That's all I gotta say. I'm just picturing those accounts, particularly those accounts that's on X. I don't know who it is, but you got certain accounts. They love doing things in slow motion when it comes to the women's wrestling. They always got to do things in slow mo. And I tell you what, man. No, seriously. It must be jelly because jam don't shake like that. Don't mind me. Anyway, the match itself, look, I thought the girls did good for what it was worth. Particularly Jade. I love paying attention to Jade because I like seeing, okay, show me your progression. Yeah, I like the fact that they are still protecting the hell out of her as far as making it be extremely rare that she leaves her feet in such a devastating way. She almost I can't believe I'm saying this, but days removed from Psycho Sid passing away, and I had found myself watching a few Psycho Sid matches off and on this week. I couldn't help but look at Jay Cargill and go, yeah, you may not be doing drop toe holds, uh, dragon screws. You may not be doing all that stuff. A Michinoku driver, you may not be doing all that stuff. Blue Falcon arrow, yeah, you might not be doing all that stuff yet. But yeah, you definitely moving like a big man, right? You're moving like a big man. You moving like a Psycho Sid. You moving like a Kevin Nash. That's okay. That is okay. And I tell you what, the crowd, every time Jay Cargill was getting ready to do some type of a move, I love how the crowd, it was pretty much like, whoa. And then when she pulled it off successfully, they gave her props and everything. The best reaction to Jade Cargill I have seen since she's been in the company is just as far as everything that she was doing in the ring goes. That crowd was something else, by the way. Chants for Michael Cole, chants for Miz, chants for Jackie Redmond, chants for Byron Saxton. And this was all during the pre-show, mind you. This was all during the pre-show. Jay did particularly well. I was really proud of how she handled herself there. I know usually we have people that like to, look at some of these matches and they go, "Oh yeah, there she is. There she is screwing up. She messed up. Look at that. Look at that. She messed up." And it's like, "Really? You guys are literally watching this just to see and hope that she messes up in this? Like, come on, man. Like that's no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Come on." Some people are going to look at what happened with Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, and they'll say this was short lived. Well, I can easily counter that and say, well, the championship tag title reign of Bianca and Jade was short lived. It should have gone a lot longer than, I mean, these girls should have been one of the most dominant female tag teams that we have seen in quite some time. You've got the right characters in place. You've got the right story arc. I mean, this could be your female version of Men on a Mission, if not better. Okay. I mean, like I said, there's just so many dots that you could connect here. Um, so many things you could do with these girls. I can't wait to see what they do with them second time around. Pretty comparable, decent match. I thought all the girls rose to the occasion. Particularly though, I got to give props to Isla and Fyre. They really, they're veterans in their own right, and I just appreciate the fact that they went in there and they made sure they did a good job in trying to protect Jade and make Jade come off looking like $1,000,000 and everything. You had one spot in the match it was a weird spot. You guys got to go back and play it on the DVR. There was one spot particularly where I think it was Alba Fyre. She was trying to set herself up for something. And I can't remember whose shoulder she was on, but she quickly looks back and she yells in audibles, kind of like, get over here already. I'm trying to remember who she was saying that to. But other than that, great stuff. Great stuff. Strap match, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk finally picking up a W, getting his first win in WWE in over 10 years. 19 minutes, 15 seconds. Boy, I love this match. I love this. I love this for what it was worth. Um, man, this was good. But you know what? I gotta admit to you guys, I've seen better strap matches. Now, that's not old man Lee yelling at the clouds. That's not me going, bring back yesterday. Yeah. No, I've seen better strap matches, but I did like this strap match. This was a brutal ass strap match. Let's just be honest. This was a brutal ass strap match. I loved it. It demonstrated to me that when the going gets tough, the tough get go. When the going gets rough. Why I got Billy Ocean on the brain now? See now I'm gonna be playing Caribbean Queen. But no, this match demonstrated to me that CM Punk, when he is healthy, and I'm continuing to knock on wood for the brother, but when he is healthy, the man can still freaking go. The man can still freaking go. I am still keeping my fingers crossed whenever it comes to a CM Punk match, though, because just that injury bug, he just had a weird case of luck. And, until I get to, okay, we've seen CM Punk now this go round back for 2 years or 3 years. Hey, he's good. Nothing weird has happened. Until I get to that point, what I'm experiencing with CM Punk right now is the HBK Shawn Michaels effect. We all remember that watched in real time when Shawn Michaels came back. We were concerned about that back. We were concerned about that back and whether or not it was going to hold up and all that. And, in due time, our nerves went away and everything. But this was a damn violent, brutal fight. I loved it. I loved it on so many levels. Um, I like the fact that he didn't have to pin McIntyre or make him tap. That's the main selling point here that I like, because when you flip that, it makes McIntyre still look pretty strong. It makes him look still kind of dominant to a certain degree, because let's not forget the way McIntyre had lost. McIntyre had lost pretty much by being beaten within an inch of his life, right? I mean, you got that going on, and then doing the whole GTS, all that stuff. This was good. This was good. I liked it. I liked it. Um, interesting odds here. Interesting odds here for CM Punk, because when you went into this match, what was the record? 3-0 in strap matches for CM Punk. 3-0 in strap match victories. So you're going, I don't know about these odds. Are they really going to have CM Punk go into this? And is it possible he's going to lose? Or is it time for CM Punk to get his first win already? I'm glad they went with the latter. I really am. He got the bracelet back, but I don't think it's over just like that. I think these two are gonna lock it up one more time. We'll wait and see. But I don't know about you guys, but I personally would not mind seeing these guys lock it up again. I'd be down with it. I'd be down with seeing these guys lock it up one more time. But of all the matches from this event, I thoroughly enjoyed this one the most. I kind of got those old retro vibes, you know, the golden years of the WWE, right? I was kind of living vicariously through these guys, thinking of the previous era and everything. Terror Twins taking on the Judgment Day. Terror Twins defeating Dirty Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Mixed tag team match, 14 minutes, 20 seconds. Ah. We got to change the name. That name is still driving me crazy. But besides that, great tag match. I'm continuing to like the idea of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest being this 1-2 combo of a tag team. Still going out there pursuing their own individual interests, but when it counts the most, they are willing to team up, common goal. I like that. I like that, and the fact that they're tall, they're big, gothic looking. That sells. That definitely sells. You know what it reminds me of, particularly? It almost reminds me of. Oh, I'm trying to think of the band. I'm trying to think of the band. See, wifey would know. Belle Biv DeVoe. That was a result of. I'm trying to think. Was that a result of some of the guys? No, that wasn't a result of some of the guys in New Edition, right? I'm trying to think how Belle Biv DeVoe. They were from a bigger boy band group, but it's almost kind of like taking the very best to my point from Judgment Day, and in this case, it really was Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. And it's like, okay, so this new Judgment Day, they'll be able to put out a couple of hits here and there, but you two are really the stars. So, like, hell, y'all are the songwriters after all. So, you guys can definitely go pair off, do your thing over here, and y'all are going to continue to make hits. And that's literally what's going on right now with Damian Priest. with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, man. I mean, seriously. Um, good stuff. I don't have a problem with the Terror Twins going over in this match because I looked at the weeks of build up and storytelling here. And just from my perspective, I can't really speak for anybody else, but just from my perspective, no, there's really no way that Liv and Dominic can really come out of this with the W. There's really no way. Because I just felt that, okay, look, Liv, Dom, Judgment Day, they've already, in the weeks build up to this match, they've already gotten their one ups on Priest and Ripley. So the last thing you want to see is you get to a premium live event, pay-per-view event, and they get a one-up on them again. The only way that one-up in favor of Judgment Day could even be justified is if you come out on the very next edition of Monday Night Raw and go, oh, okay, so there's strength in numbers because it looks like Ripley, Priest, they found some allies. And I just kind of got this impression, honestly, that WWE is not interested in going that route just yet. I think the narrative that they really want to paint here is the current members in Judgment Day, they are the insecured ones. They are the ones that feel inferior. So they're doing what they're doing out of jealousy, definitely out of spite. I would hate to see Priest and Rhea try to regroup by adding members. Like, we don't need a stable versus stable. We don't need that. That's my bottom line. Like, we don't need that. Now, if you want to eventually do the strength in numbers and you maybe want to add a Jey Uso into the mix, which I still think could possibly happen. But remember what I said before, which is, make no mistake about it, when it counts the most, Jey Uso is going to be inserted into that whole bloodline arc. Because you got to do the bloodline versus bloodline. You definitely got to go that route. I think we're probably going to get some type of a rubber match, though, coming up at Bad Blood. Make no mistake about it. Because, I mean, things are really just heating up here between all these cats. Something's going down at Bad Blood. That leaves us with one match to talk about, and that's pretty much it, which is Gunther defending the Raw World Heavyweight Championship, as I like to call it, against the Viper Randy Orton. Definitely a future WWE Hall of Famer. Gunther retaining the championship that came in at 34 minutes, 28 seconds. I got to tell you guys, when I initially had watched this, I actually fell asleep midway. So I did myself a disservice. And I had to actually, when I was up for today, go back and watch this in its entirety and everything. And I'm glad that I did. Fantastic back and forth match. Better than their last encounter, I personally felt. I felt towards the end, though, a little bit overkill. Like 34 minutes, we really did not need 34 minutes. I personally felt WWE, I got to give them credit. They're finding the right formula. That's a beautiful part. They're finding the right formula with the number of matches. I know under the old regime under Vince McMahon, let's go out there and let's do about 4 or 5. If we got to do 6 hours, so be it, damn it. But let's get in about 8, 9 matches. Like, we don't need all that. We don't need all that. If you give us 3.5 hours, like, we're good. We're good. And WWE has been, to their credit, finding that right kind of formula. But this match, if I had one thing to push back on, I would go a little bit lengthy. We probably could have got away with just making it be 29 minutes. And I think most people would have been all right and everything. But I love the fact that what they did here in this match, they let it be no secret, no fuss, no controversy. Gunther didn't just beat Randy Orton. Gunther freaking made my man Randy Orton he put that man to sleep. That Joy said nighty, 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 night. That was a great finish. That was a great finish. Making Randy Orton go to sleep, putting on a sleeper. I can't tell you how much of an old school wrestling fan I am. And I can't remember who it was on social media this week that was talking about it. I want to say maybe it was Crowbar. If it was Crowbar, shout out to Crowbar. But I remember somebody saying something along the lines of, what are 3 moves that you wish were not spammed to death? And I remember saying the super kick for one used to be a time you did the super kick, it pretty much was over. I think I also said the DDT. There was one more move I put in there, but I don't think I put a sleeper hold in there. Because like everybody does a goddamn sleeper hold in the match, everybody. And it's like, everybody eventually, gets out of the move and everything. It's like, it's kind of one of those, yeah, but when was the last time you actually saw somebody just, I'm going to put this sleeper on? Yeah, you might escape it the first time, might escape it even the second time, but I'm telling you, I'm going to work you. I'm going to work you down. And brother, you are going down when I get it in that final time. I love the way this had played out, man. This was good. A decisive win over Randy Orton, which honestly had been missing since their first matchup. So, you have that little asterisk and everything. I love the reaction that Randy Orton got from this Germany crowd. I've seen better reactions, but this was still a really great reaction for Randy Orton. And I enjoyed seeing Randy Orton. I don't know. I don't know now. I said last week or the week before that Randy Orton, knocking on wood, if he can remain healthy, I could see him definitely getting another championship reign. I also talked about Randy Orton at max, probably 3 more reigns. I just don't know now. I got to be honest with you guys. I just don't know now. I don't know what it is. I can see him definitely getting one more title reign, but I'm not so confident now on basically 3 total. I'm not so confident now. I should be a man of conviction and stick to it, but I don't know. I don't know. I kind of get this weird vibe. But didn't Randy Orton just ink a new deal with the WWE? Didn't he ink a new deal? We still don't know the terms of that deal, by the way. But I would like to be under the impression that Randy Orton probably inked a 4, maybe a 5-year deal. So I still see one championship reign in him. I see it coming. I'm just not sure if it's going to be 3 total. Could I commit to 2 championship reigns? I got this weird vibe. I can't. I wish I could put my finger on it for you guys, but no, no. I just see one championship reign for Randy Orton, one more, and that pretty much is going to be it for him and everything. Fantastic, strong main event. Checked off all the right boxes as far as I was concerned. Gunther's going to be holding that title for quite a long time. Get ready for it. He is going to be holding on to that title for quite a long time. Randy Orton was truly a really good challenge, just what he needed. If anybody had any doubt about Gunther, which I highly doubt, but if anybody had any doubt about Gunther as champion, what he did with Randy Orton, and just kudos to Randy Orton. And kind of going back to that interview a little bit, the confidence issues that he was having when he first came back, right down to the point. If you would have said to him early on when he came back, hey, how about Gunther? Randy would have said no, because his confidence level was not there. Yeah, we all can relate to that in some form. When we don't have confidence going on our side, it definitely makes our respected work. It definitely hurts it. So for Randy Orton to, it's so funny too, because when he was saying all that to Michael Cole, you understood. If you've been watching the WWE product for years upon years, Undertaker, when he talked about it during his last ride documentary, he mentioned it. Ric Flair mentioned it. Triple H, a few times he got injured, he mentioned it. Like the list goes on and on of the people. Stone Cold Steve Austin, for Christ's sake, right? Just on and on and on and on and on. But good stuff right here. Good stuff right here. Randy Orton, man. I cannot sing enough praises of Randy Orton. I've always been a Randy Orton fan. I remember me and my friends were Randy Orton fans day one that we were introduced to him. I remember taking a look at this guy, and I was kind of aware of some of the stuff that he was doing in OVW because one of my friends had a friend that was doing some stuff down there for OVW. So we would kind of verbally get little updates. And one of the things that we were told was, there's this great looking kid down there. His name's Randy Orton. You know, dude's gonna be a star. Like, yeah, he's got the look and everything. Like, really? Because we had friends that would go to the tapings and all that. And then when we finally saw Randy Orton debut on SmackDown, we were like, whoa. I remember looking at that dude and I said, I smell money. I was a teenager back then. I'm like, but I said, I smell money. Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I smell money. Like, there's something special about this guy. He's, you're just tripping over his look. I'm like, no, 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 no. This dude got something. This dude got something going on here. I was in my late teens going into 20, and I remember saying, no, I see something here. Like, I smell money. This dude's gonna be a breakout megastar. Like, you guys just watch. Sure enough. And the rest is history. I can't believe we've been watching this guy for over 20 years. That is just insane. That is just freaking insane. 20 years I've been watching this guy. It's funny. It really is. It really is. I'm at a loss for words on that because you see the way my face is kind of glowing right now and the way I'm smiling. That's because I have had nothing but fantastic memories of Randy Orton. Is watching him throughout his whole career. Nothing but fantastic memories. The legend killer phase. Oh, my personal favorite. Or how about when he was feuding there with Mick Foley? There's like so many great freaking moments, man. I wish for one night only. This is how much of a fan I am of Randy Orton. And this move doesn't get talked about enough. Maybe I'll share a little montage on social media. Does anybody remember Randy Orton's or one of Randy Orton's original finishers? Does anybody remember? I believe he used to call it the overdrive, but I think it should have been called the Orton drive. It's basically the joint where he takes his leg and he puts the thigh part underneath. He puts that on the back of the neck, and he grabs the arm, the opponent's arm, and he does like this swing type of thing. You gotta go online, you gotta watch it. I remember when Orton used to be doing that to finish off mofos. I thought that was a cool ass move. I thought that was a cool ass move. I'm looking at that move. I'm going, yeah, it don't matter the size or the weight of that person. You put that move on them, yeah, that's it. It's over. And then all of a sudden, like eventually, just one day, I couldn't even tell you who was the first victim of the RKO. I couldn't even tell you that. But one day he just did the RKO, and me and my friends are like, "Oh, that's the shit! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stick to that. That's your calling card right there." Man, that joint looks so damn good. But no, nothing but fond memories. I'm gonna legit be sad when Randy Orton does hang it up. Because that is truly a once in a generation type of talent that you're watching. Just as I kind of felt about him back then, I still feel to this day. But I always felt that, and you know what? I don't sing his praises enough. That's the sad part. But you know what? That's going to change right here, right now. I always felt that Randy Orton, you know what? You know what? I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. And I'm going to clarify what I mean by that. I always felt that Randy Orton was the Kobe Bryant of WWE. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the guy definitely skilled. The guy knows his stuff. Ain't no faking. You either got it or you don't. And Randy Ben had it. Randy Ben had it. All right, as far as I'm concerned, Randy Ben had it. That constant variable that no matter what is going on, no matter what's happening with the current climate of the company, no matter the one of few things always consistent, Randy Orton. And granted, much like Kobe, Kobe had his own respected controversies. So too did Randy Orton. But Randy Orton took some time, but he matured, learned from those mistakes, getting married, fatherhood that really humbled him, opened up his perspective and how he looks at the entire world. And he's become an overall individual as a result. And yeah, when I say the Kobe Bryant of WWE, I'm definitely looking at Randy Orton going, yeah, I can't give him Michael Jordan. I cannot give him Michael Jordan. Don't even ask me who's my Michael Jordan of the WWE. Because if I were to tell you guys that, I think you guys would be like, nah, recount, recount. But overall, good pay-per-view. I'm gonna be sad when he's gone though. I can't help but stress that again. I'm gonna be very sad because you know what I'm just now realizing. I mean, really stop and think about this, and then I'll give you my overall review, rating wise of the pay per view. Think about this for a second. In less than 10 years, I think, in less than 10 years, officially, won't be no John Cena, won't be no Randy Orton, won't be no Brock Lesnar. I don't even think Miz will still be around. I would be shocked if in 10 years Miz is still with the WWE. I mean, just really stop and think about that. With those last four guys, pretty much, that is pretty much gonna be it for that respected era or eras of WWE programming. That's gonna be it for that respected era that we grew up on, right? You see and you understand what I'm talking about when I say as far as the one constant variable, like depending on when you started watching, right? A lot of these people that we grew up on, hell, I just told you I was in my late teens when Randy Orton debuted. For some people, they're even younger than that when they first saw Randy Orton step foot in a WWE ring. So just think about that for a second and probably, 10 years. That definitely is going to be it. Yeah, you might be able to get them to pop up for a WrestleMania appearance, but I'm speaking specifically as far as full-time wrestling, part-time wrestling goes, like that's it. That is officially it. Now, on the flip side to that, you could definitely look at okay, they may be gone in 10 years, but look at who's going to be left behind to continue to carry that flag. God, and I'd be shocked if CM Punk was still. I don't see CM Punk 10 years from now continuing to wrestle. It's like we got to put him in there as well. Definitely got to put CM Punk in there as well. High point, low point of the pay-per-view, just looking at the matches overall. My high point, I got to give it to, you know what? I'm going to give it to Gunther and Randy Orton. You would think strap match, but I'm going to give it to Gunther and Randy Orton. And that comes despite the fact that it was a little bit too long, but I'm going to give it to those guys. My low point, damn. Do I have to pick a low point? Damn. Low point. Hmm. If you were to force me to pick a low point, I'm gonna go with, damn. What do you guys think? Tag titles? Women's tag titles? Would that maybe kind of be a low point? Considering everything that I just said, can that be a low point? I don't know. You guys sound off on that one, but if I were to pick, you guys are forcing me to pick a low point. I'll go with that one. Number scale, 1 being crap, 10 being awesome sauce. I'm gonna go with 7.25 for this pay-per-view. So your grading scale, that's about 7.25. That's about a C. That's C plus territory. I'll give it a C plus. I can't go higher. I can't go lower. Now I know WWE is gonna also be coming at us with NXT. What is it? No Mercy. They're doing Sunday night. Looking forward to that. That should be pretty good. You guys sound off. Bring in your comments. Bring in your comments. Let me know what you had thought about the pay-per-view. I want to share with you guys some other NXT. We'll preview NXT No Mercy. We'll do that in a little bit. First, I want to talk about some Bash in Berlin notes that had came from the press conference here. So I alluded to it earlier. Bash in Berlin achieved the highest grossing arena event in company history. Congratulations to WWE for that. Triple H had confirmed that Bash in Berlin, highest grossing arena event in WWE history. That is just, they keep breaking these numbers. WWE really is on fire right now. I mean, you just hear that. That's great. Seriously, that's great. And look, when you have wrestling thriving like this, that trickles on down and that benefits the hell out of the entire wrestling industry as a whole, honestly. Cody Rhodes had commented on the Vince McMahon upcoming Netflix documentary during the post show, the Bash in Berlin post show. So this is why it's relevant and everything. Cody Rhodes was asked about the upcoming Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix, and he mentioned that he might watch it. He noted that the locker room is interested in moving forward and not necessarily actively being silent on the allegations against McMahon. Here's what he said. In terms of, am I going to watch it? Not to sound cheeky by any means, I am deep in a Game of Thrones rewatch. That is a hell of a commitment. I think there is a bit of misinformation in terms of WWE has no involvement in this documentary, as far as I know. I would imagine I would get around to seeing it in terms of the more serious and the meat of your question. The locker room is being quiet or silent. I don't think there's a matter of belief versus non belief. I think, strictly speaking, we want to be doing what we were doing out there. The focus and attention that it takes to have a great story and have a great match and do that every single night has left most of us where we're finding the information out just as you are. That includes the resolution of this information in terms of what happened, and how justice comes about. Whatever it might be, I wouldn't look at it as an active attempt from the locker room to be silent. We are just doing what we do day to day WWE business. He was also asked directly about Janelle Grant's accusations, to which Cody Rhodes replied, I don't know enough about the information to have a good enough answer. I'm sorry. This is my whole thing. Can anybody explain this to me? Why is Cody getting this question? Why is Cody getting this question? Why isn't Triple H being given this question? That's kind of what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. You know, like you're talking to the wrong person. Like if you want to get a talent's perspective, I can kind of get that to a certain degree. By the way, I do see what you guys are posting in the chat here. So hang on here. There we go. Good. I don't get that. I mean, it's a good question to ask. Don't get me wrong. It's a good question to ask if you're trying to get the talent perspective. I get that. But I just kind of feel that type of question should be directed more towards, I don't know, maybe a Nick Khan, maybe a Triple H, Paul Levesque. Ballsy, though. I definitely appreciate the comment being put out there. It's definitely ballsy. Pales in comparison to what we get with some of those AEW press conferences. You guys got to admit that everybody's just, I'm a journalist. There's a whole lot of wanking going on over there. We also got some premiere date information as far as WWE Raw on Netflix during the Bash in Berlin post show. Cody Rhodes confirmed the premiere date for Raw on Netflix, which is going to be January 6th of 2025. Remember, the debut for Monday Night Raw was always said to be January. There was never a firm, well, what's the date? What exactly is going to be the date for that event? Now we know it's going to be on January 6th. So make sure you got a couple of months to go to make sure that you guys are on point with that Netflix subscriptions. I told you guys a couple of months ago, cannot stress it enough. Make sure this holiday season you load up on those Netflix gift cards, because the basic Netflix subscription, you are going to be seeing ads out the ass. Trying to warn you guys right now, it's going to be pretty annoying. I remember I had tried to watch the new Castlevania animated series. It's like, what, 30 minutes an episode. And I remember how they had crammed in all these ads. I'm going, okay, a little bit worse than Prime Video, but all right, whatever. But then when you try to load up a movie, I can't remember what movie I tried loading up. Maybe it was one of the Matrix movies. I'm not sure. But they had a shit ton of ads. It was bad. It was really, really, it was worse than Prime Video. At least with Prime Video goes, hey, look, just watch, the first 90 seconds, 3 minutes of commercials, and then you get to enjoy your movie in its entirety. What I saw on Netflix at the time, that was not the case whatsoever. I was continuing to get ads throughout the movie. So you guys, you want to, I'm telling you, because I know a lot of you guys don't have the Netflix yet. You want to make sure this holiday season you load up on the gift cards already. Load them up. That way you can buy yourself some time. Because nobody, look, let's be honest. Nobody wants to go and get another subscription to something. Not without first, okay, how am I going to balance this out? Because this is now extra, Spotify just went up. If you're paying for Spotify premium service, that shit just went up. I think they want now $17 or $18. If that don't make you look at what other options is out there, or you're trying to cut back and all that, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Let's see if we got a little bit more Bash in Berlin press conference notes that we can share with you guys. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Let's see. Oh, also, this coming Monday Night Raw, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they're going to be making an appearance. Apparently, there's going to be a championship celebration. Also, Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre, they'll be in action. They'll be taking on Damage Controls, Io Sky, and Kari Sane, and the number one contenders bout for a shot at the women's tag titles. American Made will be in action as well. It looks like American Aid will face Alpha Academy's Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. It's going to be a 6-person tag team matchup. Actually, we got the whole Raw card lineup. Listen to this. Zelina Vega will take on Shayna Baszler. Intercontinental Championship number one contenders match. Dragunov versus Dragon Lee versus Dominik Mysterio. Meanwhile, in your other number one contenders tournament, Sheamus versus Bronson Reed versus Ludwig Kaiser. That's going to be good. Sounds like a well-rounded episode. Yeah, it should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to checking that out. All right. Other than that, let's see what else we got here. I think that is it as far as. Yeah, I'm just skimming real quick. I'm looking at my notes from what I had typed in here. Yeah, as far as the post show, that's really it as far as newsworthy stuff. Let's see what you guys had to say about the pay-per-view here. This is you all's time now, so feel free to sound off. Should we take a look at some of the comments, by the way, from what people are saying about Bash in Berlin on Cage Match? I think we should definitely do that as well. I see Sung is just doing a drive-by. Just wanting to say hello to everybody. If I can somehow show that, that'd be great. Oh, you know what? I got to do it this way. Hang on. It's taking me a while. Now that I have a mouse to go with my MacBook, now I have to reprogram myself. You don't have to actually touch the Mac anymore. Just touch your mouse. Hey, Sung, how you doing? Sung's popped up in the during the live shows in the past here. So Muhammad making a comment about Miz was Fire One commentary, literally saying it was awesome. No, Miz definitely he did good. He really did good. You know what? I don't know how much longer Miz wants to continue to wrestle, but he would do fantastic just transitioning into what we saw of him earlier today with the pre-show. He would do fantastic. He would definitely do fantastic. He could also be that great coach as far as the ushering in of aspiring broadcasters, panelists, and all that. He'd do a really good job in breaking them in as well. I don't know what this comment was about, so I don't know how to respond to that. So let's oh, that's perfect. Let's just do that because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right, let's look at Cage Match because I'm curious what people had to say about the pay-per-view, and then we'll wrap it up here. Let's see if we could find it here. There was a whole lot of stuff that was going on wrestling wise this weekend. I mean, we had JBL appear at TNA Emergence. JBL's just been popping up randomly at wrestling events, man. I've been enjoying it too. So right now on Cage Match, I'm seeing that Bash in Berlin is sitting at a 7.37 out of 10. Let's look at the ratings here. I am seeing a lot of sevens. I'm seeing a few nines, but I'm seeing a lot of sevens. I'm seeing sixes. All right, so you know how we do it. Most critical, most positive, most neutral. And just looking at this right now, hang on. Right now, I see most critical is at a 3. Most critical is at a 3. This is from JC Wyatt. Very predictable. It felt more like a house show than a PLE and was one of the most forgettable nights in recent memory. However, the energy of the European crowd was great, and they truly made the most of the night. It's clear that European fans bring a unique vibe that elevates even the most predictable events. JC Wyatt, I love you. You summed it up perfectly in regards to the pay-per-view. You summed it up perfectly. I mean, yeah, look, if you honestly were expecting for something earth-shattering to go down, I mean, what were you honestly expecting for Cody to lose? Like, no. Were you expecting for Gunther? Realistically, were you really expecting for Gunther to lose to Randy Orton? I mean, there was that little bit of doubt, but it's kind of one of those, yeah, no. Because let me tell you something. If Gunther would have lost that championship tonight, you know what the talk would have been throughout social media? It would have been, what did Gunther do? Did Gunther do something wrong? Is he hurt? Is this a wellness policy violation? What's going on? Did they uncover something? They being WWE, did they uncover something about Gunther? What's going on here? Why is he losing the championship? You know, what's happening here? That rather than no, we just wanted to switch it up. That would have been, yeah, that would have been just a clusterfuck, honestly. But yes, JC Wyatt summed it up perfectly. If you minus the crowd, yeah, minus that crowd. That crowd really made a difference. That crowd really made a difference. So that was our most critical. Again, JC Wyatt gave it a 3 out of 10. Let's look at the most neutral. I'm seeing a decent amount of sevens, but I kind of feel like going with a 6. Let's go with let's go with some guy. That's the username, some guy. He gave it a 6 out of 10. Opening match between Cody and Owens for the WWE Championship was decent. They had a good back and forth until the stupid spot where Cody hurt his knee and Owens refuses to attack it. That was so lame. Really? You thought that was lame? Interesting. Cody retains, which was obviously going to happen, but no heel turn from Owens, even though it was heavily teased. So for that match alone, he gave it a 5 out of 10. The women's tag team title match was okay. It played out exactly how you would expect. Bianca and Jade are the champions, which makes the division boring again. 4 out of 10. Woo. Well, damn. Well, what would you call what was happening with Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre as the tag champions? That was pretty boring as well. Wouldn't you say? Jesus. Punk versus Drew in the strap match was very good. Credit to them for pulling it off. They utilized the strap well, and Punk winning was the right move to even the score and build to another match. 8 out of 10. Okay. Priest Rhea versus Dom Liv was pretty good and a lot of fun. It was a bit surprising to see the Terror Twins win since they fought off all of Judgment Day by themselves. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I thought for sure the numbers game, but the more and more that I thought about it, made more sense for them to get it done. Gunther versus Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event was good. It was a hard hitting fight with lots of selling, and they told a good story with Orton targeting Gunther's arm. They definitely could have gone at a quicker pace and shortened this match. The pace was fine. Pace was fine. Going 35 minutes really wasn't the best decision. Agreed, 100%. Gunther retains, and now they can both move on to other things. 7 out of 10. Nothing important happened, and the matches were mixed in quality, but overall, Bash in Berlin was a solid show with a hot crowd. 6 out of 10. Some good points. Some good points that some guy made in there. Some guy. I love that name. Like, just, what's your name? Some guy. Yeah, I know you're a guy, but what's your name? Yeah, some guy. Whatever, dude. All right, let's see here. Read a couple of more here. Let's go with a most positive here. Most positive. I'm looking for a most positive, but I'm not. Hang on. Because I see a couple of 9s, but there's no comments. So that's my issue. So I'm gonna have to jump to one of the 8s instead. A few people gave it an 8 out of 10. Danzig Rock, 8 out of 10. This was a fun event, one of the strongest PLEs of the Levesque era. No. No, not one of the strongest. No. No. I think that should still go to SummerSlam right now. I think that should go to SummerSlam for getting that respected title until we get to next year's WrestleMania. Specifically, if we talk about work rate. What do you guys think? Since the Triple H Paul Levesque era, would you guys say Bash in Berlin was one of the strongest PLEs when you're talking about the work rate? Man, if we're going to talk about the work rate, what I saw in the ring, that could be. I think Danzig Rock makes a good point. I think he does. Sound off. Sound off. What else does he say here? The only problem was that all the results were extremely predictable, and that harms the experience a little bit. But the in-ring stuff was awesome. I really prefer this than what happened at SummerSlam, for example, where every match had some kind of interference. Yes, yes, and angle to focus on development and stories. I know I'm biased because of the Punk match, and a 34-minute old school main event was impeccable limb work, but this was a really good event. SummerSlam was, yes, yes. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Let's read one more. Let's go with, oh yeah, all those. I gotta count those damn asterisks. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let's go with KW. KW. KW, how are you doing? Okay, so KW is giving it a 7 out of 10. Minus women's tag title match, all the matches and the PLE itself are above average. So 7 for all in one package feels right. Hot crowd, solid opener, although I expected much more from it. That played on a injury And not gonna lie, I recently grew tired of the injury storylines due to Osprey and Daniels, but Owens delivered it. Strap match paid the dues for what they did at SummerSlam. Hopefully, the last chapter at Bad Blood will be far more memorable. The main event, in my honest opinion, is underrated currently. It was terrific, and I say it deserves at least an 8. You don't see plus 30 minutes main events quite often, but these two men really killed it. It's a must watch if you like hard hitting physical matches with some old school Orton tricks used as a spice to it. Totally. Totally in agreement, my man. Totally in agreement. I'm looking at somebody giving the kickoff, one of the kickoff show props. Assassin Blanche, 6 out of 10. Satisfactory. This is basically your typical house show, only without funny stuff and any great matches. Oh, I missed this one. 4 out of 10. Cody versus Kevin. Okay. Women's tag match. So. Drew versus Punk is a good match. Mix is a good match. Gunther versus Orton equals Roman Reigns matches result show. Wait, what? Wait. Gunther versus Orton equals Roman Reigns matches. There we go. I cleaned that up a little bit. Result 4 out of 10. Better than Money in the Bank. See a 5 out of 10 by Nothing Left Inside. I had pretty high hopes for this, but it under delivered pretty strongly. None of the matches were actually bad, but none of them were pay-per-view worthy, with the exception of the mixed tag match. The main event was positively glacial and just dragged on and on. There's really no good reason to watch this. I'll push back on that. I would say, looking back on the entire card, watch it for the fan experience. I would say watch it for the fan experience, the Germany crowd. You got to see how these guys are just batshit crazy throughout this whole, like, their energy is very, very infectious. Is it a glorified house show? Yeah, without a doubt, what you were watching. But if you thought that things were going to be going in a different direction, um, as far as winners and losers, shame on you. But looking back on the matches, really great strap match. Orton, Gunther, really good. I thought the tag match was rather decent. Owens and Cody. No, I would actually say go out of your way and watch the event. The quality of the matches was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. James saying, I'm not sure happening Lee challenge Zachary Wentz for TNA X Division champ. Okay, so NXT, they're doing No Mercy on Sunday. Here's the current card. I'm not going to offer predictions and all that because I'm not really following the promotion enough like that. I'm still kind of getting my toes dipped into it on a semi-regular basis and everything. But from what I'm seeing here, the NXT No Mercy card is as follows. We've got 6 matches. And by the way, for those of you wondering, where is NXT No Mercy going to be taking place? It's going to happen at the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado this Sunday, September 1st. So here's the matches right now. Wes Lee is taking on Zachary Wentz singles match. Meanwhile, Chase Hughes, Andrew Chase, and Ridge Holland will defend the NXT tag titles against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Kalani Jordan, meanwhile, defends the NXT Women's North American Championship against Wendy Chu. Alba Femi defends his NXT North American Championship against Tony D'Angelo. Roxanne Perez, man, that bitch slap that was heard around the world. Woo. You got to look at the one where when Jada smacks Roxanne, Sonic the Hedgehog rings come out of her body. That is just hilarious. Look it up on social media. It's good stuff. Roxanne Perez defends the NXT Championship against Jada Parker. And in your main event, Ethan Page defends the NXT Championship against Joe Henry. Trick Williams will be serving as the special guest referee. That match alone should be interesting. That one alone should be very interesting. But yeah, I'm still at a disadvantage when it comes to NXT. I'm not really watching the NXT product like that. It's now gotten to a point where if I'm around, if I'm in the house and I happen to be in front of the TV, I'll put it on. Otherwise, it's kind of one of those, maybe I'll get to it during the weekend and I'll fast forward. Yeah, it's kind of interesting too, because I had some of the good folks over at Wild Women of Wrestling. They wanted to know if I'd be interested in interviewing some of their talents. And I told them, I said, look, I appreciate you guys continuing to keep me in the loop of what you all are up to and everything. I said, but I'm working full time. I go to college. This fall I'm definitely doing it fall time because I'm going all in, so I can try to be on track, wrap things up, get my degree first quarter of next year. But it's like I told him straight up. I said, it'd be a disservice to do an interview because I haven't watched you guys in months. I'm not really sure, what's going on and everything. Like, no. So it's kind of like the same thing I'm dealing with NXT. But I'm at least watching NXT a little bit more, enough to a point where I can, okay, yeah, I'm aware of this story arc. Okay, I'm aware of, but I don't feel comfortable definitively going just based on what I've seen so far. I don't definitively feel like going winner, winner, winner. I'm not ready to do predictions yet. Now, if you guys give me a little bit of time, and let's say maybe mid September, almost late September, I'll definitely have watched enough NXT and I would be able to give you guys more. Okay, this is what I think. This is what's going on, right? Just the fact that JBL has resurfaced in, I'll tell you this much before we get ready to wrap it up. I was watching the TNA Wrestling Channel. I got my Samsung TV, so I'm trying to think. I know it's available on one of the Samsung channels, but it's also available to watch through Prime Video, is the TNA Wrestling Channel. So I was watching one of the episodes from a couple of weeks ago, and I was just amazed at the production value, how it's changed drastically in a good way. And just some of the stuff that's going on. Sammy Callahan, for example, and how he's now doing these different characters in these little news report segments or whatever, and predicting an ass whooping for whoever his opponent is going to be for that week. Good stuff. Good stuff. Rosemary, I got to catch up on Rosemary. I heard that Rosemary popped up, I think, on the most recent episode of NXT, and I'm a huge Rosemary fan. I've had a crush on Rosemary for years. So I definitely I need to see how that all had played out in on NXT. Uh Joe Henry continuing to do his thing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just what I was seeing from TNA Wrestling, the episode I watched, because I was trying to get caught up to speed. The episode I watched, it was from, I think, well, they were promoting something for August 2nd and August 3rd. So maybe I was checking out something before those dates had dropped, obviously, but like I'm trying to figure out like if it was maybe a week prior. or maybe I was watching an episode from July. I really couldn't tell you, but they definitely got me going. Oh, I see you guys doing a little bit of stuff. Okay, I like that. Give me some time though, and the next couple of weeks we'll definitely be talking about those guys as well as NXT a lot more. All right, look. So we're already at an hour 48. Let's go ahead and call it, because the last thing we want to be doing is just be rambling on, ranting on, and everything. So once again, WWE Bash in Berlin, I'm giving it a 7.25 out of 10. Grade level, I'm going with a C plus. Not going to go higher, not going to go any lower. I will be back live with you guys this Sunday. I will be live after NXT No Mercy goes off the air. We'll be back with a post show. I'll give you guys my honest reactions to the NXT No Mercy events. So make sure you tune in for that. Also be joining you guys Monday night after WWE Raw goes off the air. We're going to be going all over the place on that edition of the RCWR show. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to everybody that supports the show. You all know who you are. Shout out to our listeners. Most importantly, appreciate you guys. Once again, do me a huge favor. If you haven't done so already, hop on the YouTube channel. Everybody, hop on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, youtube.com/the RCWR show. For this particular episode that you're watching right now, when you hop on YouTube, give the video a like. It really helps a lot of people be able to discover the content easier and everything. Really appreciate that. Till next go around, my pretty babies. Wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Take care, y'all. Peace.